day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Daniel Umstead, host of the RNG radio show. I'm really excited. I have the one, the only Sabrina Osso with Osso Safe here on the show to talk about what she does. So I'm really, really excited having her on the show. So please welcome my guest, Sabrina Osso. Sabrina, how are you doing today?
I'm very well. Thank you so much, Daniel. What a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, well, listen, the pleasure's all mine. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on and definitely delight these people in what you do. So I don't want to waste any time, Sabrina. Let's talk about Osso Safe. Tell me all about it.
Sure. The name of my company is Osso Safe. Feel safe where you live, work, and play. I am a TEDx speaker and consultant on promoting safety and preventing violence in the workplace, schools, and in particular in your place of residence. I know you're very much into real estate, as am I, and this is our focus really. We're saying we want to change the face of residency by combining education and technology to promote safety and prevent violence, in particular in place of residence. As far as we're concerned, Daniel, nobody should live with violence, abuse, chaos, dysfunction in any residence. It should be kind of we're not asking for the sun, moon, and stars. You know, there's plenty of problems in daily lives, and it should not, violence, abuse, chaos, dysfunction should not be a part of that. Our core product is the home sweet home package that we're introducing into the landlord tenant portion of the real estate industry. I could talk more about that during the interview.
Definitely.
And we want this to propagate over all residency, for sure. So yeah, and I can elaborate more on that, but our focus is in residency. As we say at Osso Safe, if your home is safe, everything else falls into place. Schools will be safe, universities will be safe, workplaces will be safe, concerts, public places, malls will be safe. It all starts in the home.
Awesome, awesome. Now, before we hop into the interview, where can folks find out more information about Osso Safe?
Sure. I have a website, ossosafe.com. That's OSSOSAFE.com. I am on all of the major social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Alignable, Instagram. I have a YouTube channel just under Sabrina Osso. My TEDx talk is broadcast there, but I do have a book now button on my website, ossosafe.com, for speaking engagements, seminars, workshops, to get landlords, if they want to get their properties Osso Safe certified, which we strongly encourage. That's all on the website.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's talk about Osso Safe. Like, how did it come about? You know, why this journey? You know, what was the reasoning behind Osso Safe, and you know, why do you want to share it with the world?
I've had enough years of therapy, on and off therapy, to be open to say that I am a survivor of violence. My father beat my mother on a regular basis. And we lived in a two-family home, actually. And I have to say, if I had my own services growing up, my father would not have gotten away with half the things that he got away with. So, so it's kind of turning pain into power, if you will. And I said to myself, what did I need growing up? What would have been beneficial? And so Osso Safe really, I did the right thing. I went to university. I got my degree in computer science. I had computer jobs. And however, my heart was in dance. I'm a dancer. And I couldn't even think about dance growing up in my household. There was no way that I could even mention it. It wasn't until I moved out that I completely submerged and immersed myself in the dance world. I was auditioning, I was training, taking 12 classes a week. I was hopping from one dance studio to the next, Alvin Ailey, Steps, and Broadway Dance Center. And I began writing my one-woman show. And at the time I was teaching dance. And I performed it with my dance students. Actually, the name of the show is called Home Sweet Home. And I basically play different women being abused. She goes to her good place. That's where the dancing comes in. But then she's pulled back into the terror of violence. But the show ends really strong, really empowering. And I did a lot of research for the show, Daniel, and I could not believe the statistics. I couldn't believe how common this was. Just the abuse and violence and the warning signs and what constitutes abuse and the statistics, the alarming statistics. So I said to myself, I need to make this into a business, a bona fide business. I'm not a charity. I'm not a nonprofit. We provide products and services. We respect all of the charities that deal with domestic violence. We prefer to say home violence, but we have a very different model. We're saying, look, we need to make homes safe. Whether you live in an apartment, a townhouse, a co-op, a single family home, a multi-family dwelling, safety should be a required standard condition of residency, period, over and out. So that's how Osso Safe was born, really, out of that one woman show. And I've been perfecting it and fine tuning it and really marketing it to this day, and ongoing, and we have technology that is now being updated to detect violence. It doesn't pick up conversations. It doesn't pick up documents. It picks up only violence, like violent like movements. And I hired a software company to develop the app. And basically, we're saying, Mr. and Miss Landlord, hire us to get your property Osso Safe certified, purchase the Home Sweet Home package. And it consists of a policy, a seminar, an app, and therapists assigned to the property. So this is all part of the package. This is on the preventative side versus waiting for an episode of violence to occur in one of your units. So let's say you have 10 units. With the app, we're saying, wow, I just got an alert that you just beat the crap out of your husband, or you just beat the crap out of your wife in unit 2. And in unit 10, I just saw you beat the crap out of your kids. Well, this is grounds for eviction. You're held to a higher regard, a higher standard in an Osso Safe certified property. You, the abuser, only gets evicted, expulsed. It's expulsion. And then the rest of the family unit can stay, provided that they could still pay the rent or the mortgage. We go in with extra therapy, positivity, empowerment, encouragement. And this maintains property reputation. You mitigate liability, your vacancy rates will drop, and your tenants feel safe because you are in an Osso Safe certified property. And we have mechanisms and systems in place to say, look, we don't tolerate violence, abuse in any way, shape, or form. And this is just better residency, safer residency, and therefore better for business all around. And then therapists that are assigned to the building. This is again on the preventative side. We're saying in an Osso Safe certified property, once a month, you are required to check in with your therapist. Is everything okay? Do you feel like anything is looming? In fact, yes, therapist. My kid came home with bad grades, or my kid came home saying that he or she is gay. We know that we're not going to beat them up. We're not going to verbally disparage our child. Help us though. How do we handle this? So this is just all on the preventative side. It's a much better approach versus, okay, you move in, you're in the residency, but then you have somebody beating someone up or verbally disparaging them. Cops show up to the residence. Bad news travels fast. did you hear what happened in 2A? Ooh, I thought he was a good guy. It's going to be uncomfortable being in the building or in the elevator. We get rid of all of that. So everybody gets educated, new and existing tenants. That's the seminar. Everybody signs the policy. So that way everybody's held accountable. The app, as I mentioned, it detects violence. And then we have therapists. So this is all part of the home suite, the Osso Safe home suite home package that I was mentioning. And we're looking to make this a standard. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. No. It was great information. I want to go back a little bit. You had mentioned like there are statistics, what are some home violence statistics that are related to properties that you can go over?
Yes. 1 out of 3 women will be beaten or raped in a lifetime. 1 out of 3 young people will be in an abusive relationship. 1 out of 7 men is abused. There are 15 million children that witness violence in their own homes each and every year. Every day, 4 women are killed by their abusive partners, and most of them are killed after they leave their abusers. So them leaving is not the answer. 85% of all spouse murderers are male. 80% of all runaways come from violent homes. About 324,000 pregnant women go into the emergency room, not for pregnant related issues, but for abuse related injuries. And there are about 139 million housing units in the US alone. So if you put all of these statistics together, if you think about it, and I've thought about this, it all points to how safe is your home? Like all of the crimes that happen related to home violence, it points to your home, whether in your home environment, whether you live in a townhouse, a co-op, a condo, a single family home, a multifamily dwelling, a 2-family home, a villa, a mansion, a mobile home, it doesn't matter. So usually the crimes happen in some type of residence. It could happen also outside of the residence, like on the property, in the backyard, the front yard. But it happens on a lot/block, right? So this is all more reason why why my company pushes to make homes safe. Because like I said, no one should live that way. We say at Osso Safe, just because you are a parent, it doesn't give you the right to abuse your kid, because then that child will become a future victim, a future abuser. So the cycle continues. And why? For what? So all of this relates to safety in the home. And I also want to mention that we are speaking with insurance companies and mortgage companies, because you and I are real estate agents, right? I believe so. Yeah. We are speaking to specifically insurance companies to say, look, we want to create an incentive, because let's face it, Daniel, money talks, right? And right, all the time. So we're saying, let's get a rider put in insurance policies to get properties Osso Safe certified. So that way I've been shopping this around to landlords to say, look, if you get your properties Osso Safe certified, your insurance rates will go down and your property values will go up, because you're actually taking steps to keep your tenants safe beyond the heat, hot water, electricity, central air, the window guards. You're keeping your tenants safe. You should be financially rewarded for doing that. So we are speaking with insurance companies to get riders put into policies, much like terrorism, like anti-terrorism or theft or burglary or fire, explosion, where losses are covered due to home violence. And I've been getting positive feedback from insurance companies. So we're just we're trying to partner with the right insurance company to do so. So this is what we're working on. So that way it's a financial reward for landlords, and to have this carry over though to any homeowner, even if you're not a landlord, if you just own your own home, so this is what we're working on.
Okay, all right. Now, run me through like the steps. Like if I'm a landlord, I'm like brand spanking new being a landlord. I got a 4-unit multifamily unit. This is something that I want to get started. What would be, I know going through the website, but as far as like, how would the whole steps and process be? I know you mentioned the app. I know that you mentioned there's a policy, but take me through as far as what the step-by-step would be for getting somebody signed up.
Sure. They would purchase the home sweet home package as we mentioned.
Sure.
And we're saying that we educate all of the tenants. So usually in a multifamily, there's a rec room or some common area. So, and even if there isn't, that's okay. We will educate all of the tenants, whether they just came into the property or even if they are 6 months into their residency, it's fine. So we go over the policy. And it basically states, I, as a landlord, I promise to provide you a safe space for you to live. You, in turn, as my tenant, you promise to not act in any way, shape, or form abusively. Otherwise, you, the abuser, only gets immediately evicted from the premises. So we go into full knowledge, knowing that that would be the consequences. Everybody signs the policy. We get everybody educated in each unit. And right now, the cost for each unit, regardless of how many people are in each unit, because let's say, like you said, you have 4 units, we are pricing it at about $125 per unit. So even a single family, like one person, or if there's, you have a couple with 4 kids, 3 kids, 2 kids, maybe grandma, grandpa's living with you, it's per unit. The price is per unit. So everybody gets educated. We have therapists assigned to the building. The app is being updated right now, but we have enough information to say, look, and we do this education in the seminar. Abusers are never quiet. They are never introverts. They may put on their poker face, for about a week, 2 weeks, a month, but their true colors do come out. So, and we know this at Osso Safe, we educate on this. We go over in the seminar facts, statistics, warning signs, definitions of abuse, the difference between abuse and discipline, just to name a few items. So these are the core components of the package. So there's 3 levels of the certification. And the first level is everything that I mentioned. Now, let's say you are now in the first level, you are required to check in with your therapist, as I mentioned, once a month. Right. Let's say something is looming in that first level of certification. Let's say the tenants or the resident says, look, we need extra therapy. It's a sliding scale between the therapist and the tenant. So they work out the price. The landlord hires us for the $125. We do that first level of certification. So let's say more therapy is required. That's between the tenant and the therapist. So that's worked out between them. That's all in the first level. Let's say now we move to the second level. Violence happens, right? It happens. So you get an episode of violence. We are very in close contact with the therapist, being that we are very proactive. So the abuser gets evicted because they signed the policy, the waiver is in there. And we always work with a small team of lawyers to make sure we have our checks and balances, that everything is legal and enforceable. So the abuser is evicted. Now we go in with extra therapists to get the rest of the family de-victimized, if you will. It could be the mother, it could be the father. The kids are always victims. The rest of the family unit. And what we do is we take the security deposit currently. And we just like, let's say a child throws a toy in the toilet bowl. Now the landlord has a plumbing expense, labor, parts. This is the same thing. Now the landlord has a home violence situation. We take the security deposit to pay for the extra therapy to get the rest of the family unit de-victimized. So the abuser is out. So this eliminates essentially expensive lawyers, mediators, parent coordinators, going to court. No need to move, uproot yourself, go to a shelter. Everything is resolved right in residency. And then that tenant is responsible to replenish the security deposit, just like anything else. So
Okay.
like if the toilet, the plumber comes and you have to pay for the plumber, the labor, the parts, what have you. So that's the core of the certification. Our logo gets placed outside of the building. So that way, any traffic, pedestrian traffic, vehicle traffic, they're driving, they know, wow, I know what that logo means. It's a home violence conscious property. I would rather live there than a place that is not home violence conscious. Police coming to a residence, you hear yelling and screaming and the kids crying and there's violence, maybe a gun is present. We avoid all of that because the property is Osso Safe certified and the logo speaks for itself. And then there's other components, but that's the core. Just for the purpose of this interview, that's what entails an Osso Safe certified property. I hope that makes sense.
No, definitely. No, I really appreciate that. Most folks that, or I should say past guests that I've had on, it's usually either check out the website for further info or it's a very, very brief description. So no, I really appreciate that, Sabrina. I do want to inquire though, like as far as, with the company, because I know you've been doing this for a while, what is your, vision for prevention of home violence and even the real estate industry as a whole? Like, what do you foresee, 5 years from now, even 10 years from now?
Yes, excellent question. As I mentioned, our goal is to get every property Osso Safe certified on a local, national, global level. Because we see this, it's very applicable. Anybody that is owning a home, renting a home, there should be no violence, no abuse. So we see this propagating over all residency. That's the first thing. The second thing is that as agents, we come across landlords, tenants, buyers, and sellers every day, all day long. Well, these people are potential abusers, victims. You never know. You never know. But so I am seeing us as agents instrumental vehicles in getting properties and people Osso Safe certified. Okay, you want to buy a property, you want to sell a property. Well, we need to get you Osso Safe certified. Before you go, we hand over the keys and you sign title. Are you Osso Safe certified? Because quite frankly, Daniel, what's the point of getting people in a property and there's going to be violence, perhaps a father raping a daughter, which happens all the time, sex abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse. Let's take it steps further where they are safe. They practice safety. Let's get them Osso Safe certified. So we are looking to train real estate agents like let's get everybody trained. Let's get everybody educated on what constitutes abuse. So just from a real estate industry level, I am also looking into hospitals. Before you take home this baby, get Osso Safe certified, where you know what the warning signs are, you know what constitutes abuse, what constitutes a good relationship. Mom, dad, let's practice safety and freedom of choice and respect and positivity, empowerment, encouragement. So these are more on the long term, short to long term goals that we have at Osso Safe for sure. We're also looking into schools, universities, when you register your child, because like at school, they have anti-bullying, right? Anti-violence. That's great. But when they go home, they see dad beat up mom or mom beat up dad, or they're getting abused and they're getting mixed messages. Well, how can the school expect for the child to practice safety when at home it's hell? So to have synergy at home, at school, and at work. So this is what we're working on, and our short to long-term goals for sure, and the vision all around.
Wow, that's really awesome. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to this interview, reaching the right ears and the right minds, because it's definitely needed. You know, there's too much going on, and A&E has too many specials of it, where all you can do is just pinpoint, you know, why this person was a serial killer, or why this person was an abuser, and it usually just came from the home. You know, and it's worse because you hear it's like, wow, you know, it's like, man, if this person, man or woman, had grew up in the right environment, how much better off would they be, or how much could they themselves have changed the world? So I definitely wish you success, and I'm hoping this, like I said, I'm hoping this interview gets to the right people in regards to it. Before I let you go, Sabrina, tell us again where folks can find more information about it as well, in addition to signing up.
Yes, the website, again, ossosafe.com. There's a book now tab on my website. It's very clear. And we are definitely open for speaking engagement, seminars, workshops, certifications for landlords, tenants, property managers. We have been reaching out to landlords. I've been doing a lot of these podcasts just to get the word out, because this is fairly new. And it's kind of, we're looking to change the face of residency. You know, like I said, we respect all of the charities and nonprofits, but that's kind of after the fact. If you have to call the police, it's almost too late to do something at that point. Let's be preventative, which is what we modeled our business completely. I am, again, on all the major social media platforms. My TEDx talk is broadcast there. And I have a YouTube under Sabrina Osso. And yeah, that would be the best. Oh, and my email, sabrina@ossosafe.com. So that's SABRINA @ossosafe.com.
Great. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Sabrina. I'm thrilled, excited, and pleased to have you on the show. I really, really appreciate you taking the time out today to talk about Osso Safe, and looking forward to having you back on the show if you'll come.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, this was a pleasure. I thank you for the opportunity. All podcasters, I really like your positive feedback, and you know, your recommendations, your feedback. I really appreciate that for sure.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. All right, I'll be talking with you soon, and thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.